Today's subject is something that could be a little bit heavy. It's something that has plagued my life for as long as I can remember, and I can't possibly be the only one. So today I want to talk about, I hope you guys have your coffee with you, by the way, because it'll help us get through this. But whatever you drink, the subject I want to talk about today is shame. And I know that this is something that has been addressed by many different people and different writers and different speakers. So I just wanted to speak to it from my own experience and what has worked for me. I feel like I've spent most of my life being addicted to shame and guilt. Now, I want to say that I actually do believe that guilt can be useful in a very small periods of time. And what I mean by that is your conscience comes in, right? You've done something that you know really, truly that you shouldn't have done. And that feeling rises up in your body. And for me, it's very visceral. I can feel it. And it usually is like coming from my gut and rising up and saying, it's like that Jiminy Cricket voice saying, you really should not have done that. You need to make it right. So when we use that correctly, it's powerful. It's a message for us that we've done something that was outside of integrity. Now, when shame comes into it, I really feel like it obfuscates everything. So for me, shame is also visceral, but I feel it differently. And I'm not saying you're going to feel it this way, but how I feel it is it tightens up my neck and it washes through my shoulders and it like flushes through my face. There's a heat to it and a tightening, a contraction to it. And what I know about the way that our bodies work is that when there's contraction, so you kind of are going in like this, that's like a no. And when you feel the release, the relief, the excitement, the peace, that's a yes. So even literally with the visceral feeling of shame, there's almost always a contraction and it's a no. And it's like a no meaning this is a lie. There's something here that's not right. So usually with the layer of shame coming in, it goes from I've done something that I shouldn't have done. I've done something outside of my integrity and I need to fix that. I need to do something to make it right. It goes from that, which can be healthy, into the unhealthy place of internalizing it to the point of making it about us being a bad person, about us not being whole, not just what we've done that needs integrity restored, but that inherently we're bad, we're wrong, we're just flawed on the deepest level. And that's what starts to create that self-loathing and that exhaustion and that what's the point, right? What's the point? I'm a bad person anyway. I'm never going to be better. I'm never going to be able to fix this. That's where it gets dangerous. And that's what makes us sick. And I mean mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So, what do we do about this when we have that wash over us, right? So this is what I have started to do. I started this actually only a few months ago, and it has changed my life. Now, for those of you that watched my Becoming Your Nobler Self video, there is some crossover here. And it's because these are eternal principles. True principles that work for many different things, and they work beautifully for shame. So the first thing I do is I say, is this feeling, what's the message of it? So if the message of it is, I need to make amends, then I'm like, okay, my next question is that healthy? Okay, what's the message of this feeling, this thought, and is that healthy? If the answer to that is yes, that is healthy, I do need to make amends. I say, okay, what is the action that needs to be taken? So I use the word action because then I'm going to actually do something about it, not just stew in it in my mind forever, but really out in the real world, take action. So for instance, this would be, is this, I get the feeling of guilt hits me. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, what's the message? The message is that I'm out of integrity and that I need to have a conversation to make up for it. Is that healthy? Yes. Yes, that is healthy. It is healthy to know when we're out of integrity and to know that we need to have a conversation. Okay? So then from there, what action do I need to take? I need to set up a time to talk to that person. I need to get myself as grounded as possible, do some self-care, eat something nutritious, get some sleep, drink some water, maybe pray, meditate, talk to your therapist or coach or friend to get yourself in a good place, and then go have the conversation with the person that you are out of integrity with. Okay? So think about the difference between that and shame. So I have the feeling wash over me. What's the message of this? That I'm a piece of shit. Is that healthy? No. What good is that going to do me or anyone else in the world to believe that? Right? Is that healthy? No. And it has to stop right there. Because if you go into then what action should I take, you're going to be taking action from an unhealthy place, which could be self-harm, which could be lashing out at somebody else, not taking care of yourself, going and climbing in bed for 3 days. We have to be able to ask the question, what is healthy? It has been one of the most effective questions for myself ever. So there are some of you that this will work for. Anytime I'm doing this, I'm never saying this is applicable to everyone, that it will work for everybody. I understand that there are 7 billion people on this planet. So this video is literally just for the people that it will assist. So, is it healthy? No. And here's where we need to use our free will. Whew. There's this feeling that comes over me like, okay, it's not healthy, but I really want to go into it. It's very seductive. It's a huge temptation to go there. It's a huge temptation to spin out. Because what it actually does is I get to feel sorry for myself that I'm such an awful person. And in that self-pity, there is no action to take. You see, in a way, it's the easy way out. Now, of course, it isn't long-term because it destroys us from within. But in the short term, it's tempting to just go to that place. Well, I'm just a horrible person, so I guess that's the way it's always going to be. It's never going to change. I don't need to do anything about it because I can't do anything about it. And I love you guys enough to tell you, bullshit. Bullshit, you're a horrible person and that there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? Even if you have to just pull every ounce of self-will that you have from your body, from your soul, from your spirit and say, do you know what I'm going to do? Even though I don't want to, even though I don't feel worthy of it, I'm going to take such good care of myself that I have the energy to restore the integrity here. I'm going to have the courage to own up to exactly what I just did, what I just said, what just happened that was outside of my truth. And I'm going to have whatever conversations it takes, and I'm going to make whatever reparation it's going to take. And I'm not going to run from this. I'm going to face it head on. And when we do that, that is the medicine for shame. For the sickness and the disease of shame, accountability and action in a healthy direction is the medicine. I'm telling you, shame is addicting. It hits us. There's a chemical that we get from it. It really gets to be like a lifelong excuse not to be our highest, best, most noble selves. So this sounds very, very simple, but it's not easy because it does take using your own free will, right? Self-care when you least want to and you feel like you least deserve it that's when it's most important, because it's going to restore your energy so that you can restore your integrity. And when we continually do that, we fully own it. We don't run from it. We don't rationalize it. We don't pretend. We're kind to ourselves. Even if we're not being kind in our own minds, we're kind with the actions we're taking and how we're taking care of ourselves with the intention of, right? Restoring our integrity. Now, this takes something. And if you need support in making this happen, reach out. You can come see me for a session. Shoot me an inbox. I do them over the phone if you live somewhere besides Utah. Or you can go see your own therapist, coach, mom, partner, best friend. If you can't do this alone, if you don't have enough of your free will to do alone, please reach out to somebody to help you. But I'm telling you, it starts to build momentum in the opposite direction of shame. You start to build confidence. You start to build the knowing that every single time you do something you feel bad about, you know what you can do to make it right. And if you need to start 30 years ago, then start 30 years ago and start making it right. Start having the conversation, start fully owning it. You've got this. I know you can do it. If I can, anyone can. I was the biggest shame addict you've ever seen. And I care about you, right? I really do. I love you. I'm here cheering you on every step of the way. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.